Whether by land, sea, or air, traveling, especially during the holidays, can hold plenty of opportunities for disaster. And it, of course, helps to have someone on your side, which is where CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg comes in, here to answer the emails you've been sending us. These are real people with real travel problems. You're helping them out. We're doing your best to help them, I should say, because unfortunately we can't solve every problem, but it's important to have that answer, and you can get that for us.
Sure, and it's not just the problem. We point out the process to help you get to that solution.
Which is good. So we're going to start right here. Our first one comes from Jane from Simi Valley, who wrote in about a canceled cruise. She says she booked a cruise with Seabourn, I believe it's pronounced, along with business airfare to Italy. Unfortunately, my husband ended up in the emergency room. Seabourn, who replied in a nutshell, "Too bad. While we understand it's all our fault, we didn't buy insurance. I thought we'd at least retain the airfare. Do you have any suggestions?" Does she have any recourse if she didn't buy insurance?
Not a lot, because remember, the refund policies of these cruise lines border on the draconian. If you read the contract, if you cancel within 30 days, you get nothing back. And she bought her airfare through the cruise line in addition. Now, this is a substantial investment, $14,000 we're talking about here, of which $6,000 was the airfare. To make matters worse, they even wanted to charge her a $750 charge if they were going to get her the airfare back. Well, guess what? It was a business class airfare. Those are refundable. So guess what? Yeah.
Business class is always refundable.
Yeah. So guess what? She got the airfare back. They didn't charge her the $750, but they are out that money for the cruise. Bottom line is you do have to buy the insurance, but it gets down to the kind of insurance. It's trip cancellation and interruption policy. The range of the premium goes from like 9% to 16% of the cost of the trip. You want to cancel for any reason whatsoever, like I don't feel like it, that's a 16% premium. Now, if you have a $14,000 investment in the cruise, you might want to buy the insurance.
Worth it.
If you're a $59 ticket on Southwest, don't buy the insurance. It's not worth it. Get that insurance, and don't ever get it from the trip provider themselves.
Oh.
Because if they go out of business, so does your insurance. Get it from a third party. Any travel agent can sell it to you.
Okay, so that's problem number one.
Yes.
Up next, a rental car charge. Mary G wrote in to say she rented a car from Budget in mid-October and just received a letter informing us they were charging $250 for interior damage to the vehicle. She says she was told they were being charged for smoking in the car. We don't smoke. Plus, I mean, this came way after they returned the car.
Right. Well, we investigated. This is quite an interesting story because there were ashes in the car. Now let me tell you the whole story. They were actually going to a funeral. No, it's not where you think we're going. It wasn't Uncle Louie in the back.
Okay.
No, they had bought a mum plant, and it was the potash from the pot in the potting soil that was left on the seat of the car.
But isn't that something that when you return that car, when you drive it up and they do the inspection, shouldn't that be brought up at that point, or no?
You should actually bring it back and do your own inspection. In this situation, they wrote. They didn't get a good answer. We investigated for them. We contacted the agency. In this case, it was Budget Rental Car. They got their money back. They were not charged that $250. But you need to write the letters. You need to get copies of the actual receipts, names, first and last names. And bottom line is, also copy me. And you can also get that on our website.
Okay. Last one quickly before we let you go. A canceled flight. So many people have had to deal with this. Susan C. wrote in to say she and her husband had a flight from Athens to London. It was canceled. She says there was no explanation, there was mass confusion, and all of their future reservations with hotels, flights, loss of travel time have not been addressed by British Airways, which was the air carrier in this case. Can you help?
In this situation, what's interesting, people don't know this, a lot of airlines outsource their ground handling to other agencies. In this case, in Athens, it's not handled by British Airways, it's handled by somebody else. But here's the news bulletin. British Airways is the primary carrier here, and they are responsible, and they are now working it out, because the $150 they gave them was clearly not enough to handle everything else that was going on. So it's pending, but they're going to work on it. But again, British Airways had to go to the third party and make this happen.
Gotcha. And then they all came to you to make it happen.
Yes,
It's always a good thing. Peter Greenberg, always a pleasure. Thanks.